This is a hybrid meeting. Should any technical interruption to the meeting occur and the Zoom portion of the meeting is suddenly ended, it will not be resumed and all items will be automatically continued to the next scheduled meeting date. This meeting is being recorded by the Conservation Commission. If any other person is present or doing the same, you must notify the chairperson at this time. I will call to order this meeting in the Greenfield Conservation Commission at 6:30 p.m. on October 14th, 2025. Commissioners present include Kristen McDonough on Zoom, Travis Drury, Erica Laforme, Emily Boss, myself, Elizabeth Garofalo, and Agent Jessica Siegel. And the first item on the agenda is to approve the meeting minutes from the September 23rd, 2025 meeting. Do we have any questions or concerns around the minutes?
Make a motion to approve the minutes.
Second.
Okay. Then we'll take a vote, starting with Kristen, to approve the minutes from September 23rd.
Aye.
Travis?
Aye.
Erica?
Aye.
Emily?
Aye.
I'm also an aye. The meeting minutes should be available online 24 hours from this meeting. Next up on our agenda this evening is a public meeting request for determination of applicability, installation of a ground-mounted solar canopy at 73 Orchard Street, map 65, lot 2A. Installation of a ground-mounted solar canopy within 100 feet of bordering vegetative wetland buffer zone. No excavation or concrete will be required for the array foundation. The array will be secured by approximately 24 2.5-inch Schedule 40 ground screws with minimal disruption to soil. A shallow trench will be excavated to transmit electricity to the existing home. Approximately 45 feet of this trench will fall within the buffer zone. Erosion controls can be included as required.
Okay, so I'll bring up this RDA we received. We did a site visit. We met up with.
If you're sharing it.
Okay, we met up with Tristan Callan from PV Squared on last week and checked out the site. This is a residential parcel that they're putting up the array in their backyard to supply power to their home. And Tristan is on the call tonight to discuss more about it. But real quick, here are the plans. This is the backyard or the parcel itself. You can see the house is to the left front of the parcel, and then there's a pool in the center of the backyard, and the solar array will be just north of the pool, in between the pool and the edge of their parcel. There is wetland delineation shown on this. It's a little hard to kind of decipher, but real quick, I'll kind of run down. What you're seeing to the right of the screen is the GIS layer, like the state layer, but they had the wetland delineated, and that is this light green line over here. So that's BVW. And then this dotted green line is the 100-foot buffer zone. So the solar array will fall kind of smack in between the edge of the 100-foot buffer zone and the edge of the bordering vegetative wetlands. And I don't know, should we allow Tristan to speak first, or do we do photos? Probably Tristan. Okay. Tristan, you want to jump on the mic and I can stop sharing if you want to share your screen, or I can share my screen whenever you
I
like.
think that's great. So yeah, I think that was an excellent summary of what we're looking to do. We had originally designed this project based on the state wetlands delineation. And then when we got to the permitting phase, we discovered that an additional survey had been done that was on file with the Concom. So that brings us to where we are now. As I mentioned in the narrative, there's not like a foundation here. There's no concrete or excavation. It'll be installed with ground screws, so minimizing disturbances to the earth. There'll be about a 45 feet of trench within the buffer zone. That's a shallow trench, about 1.5 feet wide and 2 feet deep. It'll be opened and then closed within 48 hours. Typically, our process would be to open it in the morning, lay the conduit, have a inspection sometime around lunch, and then close it the same day. The only thing that would slow us up there would be if we need an extra day to get the inspector out there. But typically, it's closed same day or the next day. And yeah, I'm happy to answer any questions that y'all have.
Here are the drawings of the arrays that are being put up. So you can see, as Tristan was referring to, it's not foundation, they're screwed in. So here's the poles with the coil screw at the base. So it sounds like way less disturbance with this style.
I guess one question is, I know these are going to be elevated, what, like 10 feet or something like that above the ground. Is it just going to be lawn underneath, or what survives in the shade under there?
Correct. So yep, they'll be 10 feet at the highest point. Yeah, I think the customer's intention is to keep it as lawn under there. You know, I'm not a landscaper, so I can't speak to how their grass will do, but I wouldn't necessarily consider it to be that different from a ground mount that you have in an agricultural field. And I know that you can have both grazing animals and plants and ground mounted solar all in the same field. So I'm not anticipating it's going to kill off all the grass or anything, but his intention, so far as I understand it, is just to have basically a shade canopy out by the pool as a respite spot when they're out enjoying their yard.
I can speak very briefly to
Mhm.
the lack of impact of the solar panels on the vegetation underneath, as long as you're not trying to grow anything that requires quantities of sunlight, the
Mm.
grass won't be killed off. I know Department of Energy and UMass have done some extensive studies looking at exactly like this, as Tristan mentioned, within agricultural settings, and so
Mhm.
the vegetative survival is good.
Great.
I'm gonna quickly bring up the wetland delineation that we received previously, because I think it just kind of shows the resource areas better. Okay, so there is Graves Brook all the way to the east. However, the 200-foot riverfront area ends within the bordering vegetated wetland. So you can see that the blue dotted line, her hashed line, is the end of the 200-foot riverfront area. And then the green kind of polka dots is the BVW boundary. And then the green hash line is the 100-foot buffer zone. So just to give you an idea of kind of a clearer image.
Right. So this does fall within the Greenfield City ordinance of the 100-foot buffer zone.
Yeah, the wetlands protection area and the ordinance,
the ordinance.
100-foot buffer zone, but no other resource areas.
I had a question about the decommissioning plan. I'm not familiar with the City of Greenfield's solar bylaw, if we even have one. But is there a decommissioning plan? And if there is, can you walk us through that? Like, will the buffer zone be restored at some later date to pre-construction existing conditions? What is the decommissioning plan, if anything?
We haven't looked at the
So,
future, have
I mean, as a solar array, it's built to last. The foundation of the racking is steel and it is constructed to last. The panels, we anticipate to exist for at least 25 years. So there's not necessarily a formal plan for removal. If the client at some point were to have the system taken down, I guess they would unscrew the racking from the earth, but it wouldn't be anything particularly more than the installation process in terms of any impact on the land there. But yeah, it's a long-term project without any necessarily short-term plans for decommissioning or anything like that.
I guess what I'm asking is there a long-term decommissioning plan for when this is decommissioned that the system, one, has the financial capacity to pull it out of the buffer zone and not just abandon it, and two, restore any temporary impacts to the buffer zone to pre-construction conditions.
There's not a formalized plan, but if that would be a requirement of the commission, that's certainly something that we could bring to the client and have them agree to, and whatever, if there's a signed document or however the commission would require that. Just speaking from experience, typically if the solar system reaches the end of its life, it's more likely that the customer would want new panels installed on it rather than just remove the whole thing. And given the direction that we're heading in terms of home electrification and energy usage, I don't necessarily foresee the decommissioning of the system being an issue. But if there is, the agreement needs to be put in place that the system is removed if it goes out of operation, that's certainly something we can include.
Kristen, I can share my photos now too, if you want to see.
Yeah.
So a lot of the buffer zone is currently lawn. Actually, pretty much like all the buffer zone where they want the panels is lawn. So right now, it's a little hard to see, but there's flagging where the array is going to extend to. So this is the kind of the upslope edge. And if you can see my cursor, that's the downslope edge. And then it goes over this way, and then one more, and then comes back up the slope. I believe that the edge of the let's see, the northwest edge of the BVW is basically the edge of the lawn right here. There was some flagging right here and behind the shed, so it like cuts across right along this tree line, and then it dips into the woods. So anyway, that's one of the lawn photos. So here's what was cut off. So that's the uphill edge of the solar array, like boundary. And then here's just more pictures. So it's basically mowed lawn. And then again, so this is looking uphill. There's the top edge right here. And I'm at the bottom edge or bottom corner. And so it goes like straight in front of the shed here. And then here's the pink flagging. So it's the edge of the BVW, and I'm like kind of behind the shed. So see, here's the shed on the left. So I'm just like looking left and then right, and it goes in there. Let's see. I did think that was maybe black locust. So here's the wetland marker. Again, I'm behind the shed. Okay, so now I'm kind of more by the pool, looking north. So there's the bottom edge of the solar array plot, and then that's looking back up the hill towards the house. Okay.
The pool's not in buffer zone, is it?
The pool, yeah, it is in buffer zone.
Is
Pool's
it
not-
in local riverfront?
No, none of this yard is in riverfront. I could bring up just real quick the delineation again. So see the riverfront is this blue hatch line, so it's well into the woods, the riverfront,
Yep.
and then that's the yard.
So the entire in-ground pool is in buffer zone.
Yeah.
Was that permitted?
I don't know about that, but I did know that with uses accessory to single family homes, pools that are 50 feet from BVW and greater are considered minor.
But that wasn't brought to the Conservation Commission's attention to approve, and it doesn't look like the entire structure is within 50 feet. So it wasn't approved. It wasn't considered
I'm
a
not
10.02 minor buffer zone activity. It wasn't approved.
I'm not sure if that was approved or not. It was before my time and
I would say that that pool has been there easily for 10 years, if not longer.
But that
So-
doesn't predate the
No,
ordinance.
no, but I guess I'm saying might be, take some time to dig up whether or not it did come before the commission.
It might have, because they came before when they were gonna do that. Whatever that white outline was.
Skirt.
yeah, the
You know, so
white, yeah, that was a garden.
That's when they had it delineated, right? And they were
Yeah.
gonna-
Yeah, that's when they had it delineated because they were gonna do something with the shed that's in the woods. And so they were asking questions about that, and I said they had to get it delineated. So they didn't, then I think they dropped that plan completely. And then they wanted to put in a garden, and that's about the garden area. And I said that was a minor project, and that to me looks like it's over 50 feet from the BBW.
I'm just thinking if they came before us for that, they would probably.
Yeah,
it was the same
yeah,
owners,
asking about a
they
garden.
probably-
I mean, it could be from previous owners too, the
Right,
pool. I don't know.
Kristen,
Tristan, yeah, sorry, go ahead.
could you, I'm sorry, could you help me understand your concern relative with the pool relative to the panel? Like, I'm not sure. I guess I'm just not sure what the connection or the ramifications on the current project are as it relates to the concerns around the pool. If you could help me understand that, that would be great. I just don't-
We have no concerns about the pool's location, close to I mean, it's not especially close to the array, but be plenty of room for our crews to work. There's not like a concern about the panels getting, obviously they're intended to be outdoors, rained on, get wet and everything. The transmission line will be dug at the north end of the arrays, so it'll be away from, septic or anything related to pool construction. So from a solar perspective, we have no concerns about the location of the pool relative to the ground mounted array.
Thank you, Tristan.
Also, I can just add that looking online, the last sale date for this property was 2021. And I looked at 2019 aerial imagery and the pool was there at that point. I'm not sure how far back it was there, but it was a previous owner who did the pool.
So me personally, I don't see any issue with the solar array, but I am concerned about a decommissioning plan. I would want to see a decommissioning plan attached to the order of conditions, and I am concerned about that pool. If that wasn't lawfully permitted, I would like to see some kind of corrective plan of action.
It looks like the pool was installed. I was looking at aerial imagery. It wasn't in the 2011 to 2012 imagery, but it was in the 2013 to 2014. So somewhere around 2012 to 2013 is when it was installed.
I also just want to commend the applicant for actually getting a wetland delineation, because it really bothers me when people just use the Mass DEP wetland layer as an actual wetland delineation, and it's not. So yay on the applicant for actually doing a delineation. Thank you.
So I feel like the pool is a separate concern. Kristen, is that a fair statement?
Yeah,
Okay. And so as it relates specifically to the solar array, and Travis, my understanding is that this would be a positive determination because it does fall within the jurisdictional area. Is that a correct statement?
Oh, gosh.
I know, I have to look it up too. I always get mixed up. Would it be negative
I-
something?
Negative.
Yeah, I
Read
think
through the choices.
Positive is,
positive means they have to do a notice of intent.
Yeah,
But I think if it was within the wetland area, it would have to be a positive if it was in a wetland.
Mhm.
But I think in buffer zone, we could do a negative determination with conditions and say that it will not impact the wetland if these conditions are met. That's generally how we would do projects like this.
positive means they have to do an NOI, I thought.
Yeah. Okay. So with the negative, the work is within an area subject to jurisdiction under the act, but will not remove, fill, dredge, or alter, therefore no NOI.
Well, there's different choices. What are the
Uh,
other choices? Because
Next one down is work is within buffer zone, but will
Yeah.
not remove, dredge, fill, or alter the area subject to jurisdiction under the act, no NOI conditions.
That one,
that
that's
one.
the one.
but there is dredge. Well, there is like,
It is gonna be a,
But not
Then
not within the wetland area.
no, but buffer zone. This
Buffer.
is for buffer zone.
so the next one,
Dredge
the next
is within
one,
buffer?
right. The next one reads, work is not in an area, oops, no, that's not what we want. So number 5, area is subject to jurisdiction under the act. The work meets the following exemption. Then that would be area work is not subject to additional review and approval by the commission under the local ordinance.
It might meet the minor buffer zone activity exemption, which is I think 10.02, but let me look it up.
So I think it would be negative determination type 3. Negative determination that the work described in the request is within the buffer zone as defined by the regulations, but will not alter an area subject to protection under the act. Because I think that that's saying it's not altering a wetland, which is the area subject to protection. It's only altering the buffer zone. And
That sounds
therefore,
good to
said
me.
work does not require the filing of notice of intent subject to the following conditions.
I think that makes sense too. As long, like, I mean, yeah, I think that makes sense too. As long as it's not in a local ordinance jurisdiction, I think that does make sense.
Yeah. And Kristen, I did look up in the city code what it has for ground mounted photovoltaic non-commercial.
Yeah,
And it doesn't have anything about decommissioning plans being required. Just so you know, the solar part of the city code doesn't have anything like that in it.
some towns and cities do under the planning board bylaws. And they require, money in escrow, but that's more for like commercial. I don't know about residential. But I would like to just put something in our orders, just stating that the applicant is required to be responsible for restoring the buffer zone to pre-construction conditions, even if they sell the property, whoever inherits that will then inherit that responsibility. Does that make sense? So there isn't gonna be a huge, ground disturbance, but I guess my preference would be that it's not just as technology evolves, just
Right.
abandoned.
Absolutely.
are there any other conditions that the commission would like to add?
We
Is
talked a
the-
little bit about erosion control, right? Just
Oh, yeah, I don't know if I can hear you on the microphone.
Yeah,
here,
so
but-
the applicant did mention willingness to implement erosion controls, which we would also like to see as that 45-foot trench is dug to put in the wiring piece. I think standard straw wattles
Yeah.
and no caching of material.
Right.
No, stockpile.
Well,
Yeah.
No stockpiling, yep.
check the weather, no, nothing.
Right,
during-
yeah, no, we have,
think that
we have
they
our
said-
standard boilerplate around like, you know,
Yeah.
rain events and so on and
Yeah.
so forth. And
Yes.
I'm sure nobody is going to be laying electrical in the rain anyway.
Don't do that.
Not
Yeah.
anybody's gonna have a fun time.
No.
Are they gonna, I mean, it's lawn now, so I assume they're gonna like keep mowing it or whatever, or? And-
Correct, and the homeowner is actually required by the fire department to maintain vegetation at a certain level, and he'll sign a document for the fire department to that effect.
As long as they're not, I mean, they shouldn't be up until now, but also, I mean, going forward, like dumping in wetland, dumping any of the mowings and stuff.
Oh,
Right.
yeah.
That's a really good point. I was thinking the exact same thing, Erica. There's a wetland that crosses through the existing maintained lawn. I would like to see that landowner, you know, voluntarily participating in a naturalization of that, and also a commitment to no longer dumping yard waste in the actual wetland.
Yeah, I didn't really see anything.
Yeah, I didn't see
I kind
any.
of scanned the woods, looking for that, but it doesn't mean they weren't. I mean, but I
Sure.
didn't really see anything.
I
Maybe
didn't see
putting it
any
in-
either. I mean,
maybe
it does
like-
cut dramatically like east. And we were really up here. So there, I didn't see any in this zone. I did not walk over here, but this is also considered buffer zone over here.
But
I
maybe
don't know
just
what they do with their
putting
yard
it in,
cleanings, but
just to reiterate, maybe,
Mhm.
just.
no dumping of yard waste in the wetland.
Yeah.
Okay.
In the-
Continue to appropriately remove yard
Yeah.
waste from site.
Yeah, just so you know, Tristan, composting yard waste in a wetland is frowned upon. So if you
Certainly.
can reiterate that
Okay.
to the landowner, that would be very beneficial. And
Absolutely.
again, you know, a portion of the actual jurisdictional wetland area does intersect with where they're currently considering their yard, their mowed lawn, and that is jurisdictional wetland. So and also, you know, again, just to go back to the pool, I don't know off the top of my head if that was lawfully permitted, but I do recommend the agent look into that.
Okay, I'll look into it.
I don't know if this is part of our standard order of conditions, but I think it would be helpful to make it clear that we do not want any sort of mulching under the array. So like it should be, which it seems like what they're planning, but to make it clear that we also require them to maintain it as vegetated, not as stone or mulch or other landscape covering underneath of that space. And I don't know if that's something the fire department would or would not have any commentary on. I know you just mentioned they have to keep the vegetation low, but
I mean, from the fire department's perspective, they'd probably be happy if we put concrete on everything. But
so we would not like that.
yeah, understandable. So my understanding is that none of that is intended, but I'm happy to go over all this with the homeowner and make sure it's reiterated with him as well.
And then, of course, any reseeding that might need to be done, which sounds like probably not much, but any reseeding that needed to be done we would like to see that with a native grass mix
Okay.
rather than non-native, native to the
Um,
county.
Verify with our landscapers that that's part of our plan.
Any points we've missed?
Well, I guess the only thing I'm wondering, just, you know, you were just saying that we don't want it to be mulching. I'm wondering if, you know, the area under the solar array that's not going to be touched, you know, it's just going to be maintained as lawn. If we really have a say in how that, like, because you can use lawn, you know, like you can convert lawn to other uses in buffer zone, you know, if it's
Oh, I
already
see.
lawn.
Mhm.
Um,
We could.
Like
I
you
think
could
the
turn it
concern
into-
Is
yeah.
more that it not become impermeable surface. right?
yeah, yeah,
We don't want it to become a patio.
Right,
yeah,
right, precisely.
Because
Yeah, I
then
guess
it's
that-
altering
yeah.
the buffer zone.
That would be a separate filing with us to convert lawn into an impervious surface in buffer zone.
And again, this goes back to 310 CMR 10.02 to B for activities within buffer zone. So that's a long section. So that, and again, that refers to lawfully permitted lawns, and I'm not entirely, you know what I mean? I would want to make sure that we're advising the applicant that that would be true if this was a lawfully permitted lawn. So for example, the conversion of lawn to uses accessory to residential structures such as decks, sheds, patios, pools, replacement of a basement bulkhead, and the installation of a ramp for compliance with accessibility requirements, provided that the activity, including material staging and stockpiling, is located more than 50 feet from the mean annual high water line of riverfront, bank from bordering vegetated wetland, whichever is farther, and erosion and sediment controls are implemented during construction. The conversion of such accessory uses to the existing single-family use houses of lawn is also allowed. So there are caveats to what you're saying, Travis.
Yes.
So that really, we're just saying that they have to go through a process if they want to convert it to another use. But that's what they would have to do anyway, so.
Yeah, I mean, I think we could just say we're simply approving,
Yeah,
you know, this structure with maintained lawn underneath, and any further alterations, you know, they should consult the Conservation Commission.
Yeah, it falls under the minor buffer zone activity. And there's a bunch of different examples under 10.02.
Mhm.
Okay, do we have any further conditions that we would like to, aside from the decommissioning plan? Kristen, do you have specific language? Or do you want to see Tristan submit that to us in addition to the order of conditions that we will be issuing?
I honestly think that it's just something that I've seen over the last, I don't know, like 15 plus years since solar kind of took off, that there's just no offense to you, Tristan. I did like, there are a lot of fly by night solar companies that tend to just like have
Cool.
LLCs and they just sort of blank out. And I just want to make sure the landowner is protected and that the Conservation Commission is protecting our own resource areas and jurisdictional areas, just to make sure that there is something that, you know, however the landowner wants to work that out with their contracting company, it's up to them, but I think that it would cover ourselves if we just put that in our order of conditions, just stating that there should be some kind of decommissioning plan, can be administratively approved by the agent, but I don't know if the whole commission needs to review and approve, but I just want to see something to cover so that the solar company doesn't just like ghost out and never go back and pull out the equipment in buffer zone. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
So before construction begins or before they can get there?
Yes. Before construction begins, a decommission plan submitted to the agent, lights are going out. Sorry, submitted to the agent, including things such as upgrades or complete removal and how that would, what that would look like. As it
Yeah, I
relates-
think if it's part of the order of conditions, then the applicant cannot get a certificate of compliance if that's not completed. And that's up to, I mean, if it were a commercial plan, we would want to have like money in escrow so that the company would like be responsible for that financially. The landowner, you know, this is just a residential solar, so they're probably not gonna want to do that, but that might just create enough incentive for the landowner to think about that and know that they're personally on the hook, or if they sell the house, whoever they sell the house to is on the hook for that. So they might be more aware of that negotiation, you know, on a business level.
Kristen, this project would not need a certificate of compliance because it's not a notice of intent.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah. I was thinking the language, Kristen, that you said earlier, which was just having a condition saying that the landowner is responsible for converting the area back to lawn if and when the solar array is removed or something like that, you know.
Yeah, that works. I guess that's all we can do. Thank you for pointing that out, Travis. I forgot.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot less you know, a lot less we can
Yeah.
hold people to when there's no when it's not an NOI, when there's no certificate of compliance.
Yep, absolutely. Good point.
I think what you started to say was pre-existing.
Pre-construction
Yeah, not
conditions.
just lawn, because I mean, it is still kind of lawn under it, but
Right.
if the panels are no longer working, then we want them removed and.
Disposed of appropriately
Yeah,
and.
yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Dispose,
Well,
yeah, that's
pre-
exactly, yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Pre-construction conditions.
Yeah.
Okay, any further conditions, questions, concerns?
I'll just go ahead and make a motion for a negative determination type 3 for the request for determination of applicability at 73 Orchard Street, map 65, lot 2A. This is a motion for negative determination that the work described in the request is within the buffer zone as defined by the regulations, but will not alter an area subject to protection under the act. Therefore, said work does not require the filing of a notice of intent subject to the following conditions.
Second.
Second. Well, you beat me to it, Erica.
All right, so we will vote on the negative determination, starting with Kristen.
Aye.
Travis,
Aye.
Erica,
Aye.
Emily?
Aye.
I am also an aye.
All right.
Thank you, Tristan.
Thank you, Tristan.
Wonderful. Thank you all for your time. I hope you have a great evening.
You
too.
too.
Bye-bye.
Okay. Up next, new business. The mayor has authorized the Department of Planning and Development to proceed with the surplus property distribution process for parcel 9-3-031 Cheapside Street with the intention of selling it to a developer. The commission will discuss if the property is needed for any city purpose, if any special conditions should be attached to the sale, and any additional information which may be appropriate and useful for determination.
Okay, so this is Cheapside, right?
Yep.
Okay. Is everybody familiar with where that is? I can bring it up on a map.
Cheapside in general,
I know, yeah.
not sure the specific.
I'll just bring it up on a map. Okay. Share my screen.
Okay, yep.
Just so everyone knows, I did measure and it is within 200-foot riverfront area, the front part of this parcel.
Oh, gosh. I thought you
For
were
state,
Okay.
Sorry, Kristen, what did you say?
I said for the state.
It's from the river, from the
Okay,
Deerfield.
so,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah,
so
state
Wetlands
and-
Protection Act and ordinance.
So here we are, the red dot, that's at the very southern part of Greenfield there along the Green River, or sorry, Deerfield River.
So so that's Buttontown.
Hope Street kind of winds
Okay,
and,
so it's right on
and,
this side, huh?
yeah.
Okay,
So that's,
Picture.
okay.
so it's on the uphill side of Cheapside Street.
Mhm.
And, oh wait, gosh,
Okay,
I'm
Do we know if that's in bordering land subject to flood?
Yes, sorry.
It is?
Yes, we know. So it's not.
Okay.
It just, because I think there's such a drop off on the other side of the road going towards the Deerfield River. So it just kind of, and the BLSF ends on the far side of the road. And then the pink parcel outlined is the parcel in question. So it is in riverfront area, but it's not in any of the, it's like barely not in the priority and estimated habitats.
Is there a structure on it? It looks like there's a house.
There's a house on it. The railroad tracks are right behind it. So if we go to the houses, you know, kind of boarded up, underneath the, these plants is like a stone wall. You can see it in the distance and it kind of comes.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so, and then
Sumac. Really?
And then there's like, yeah, part of, I think there's like a garage piece here. When I brought up the property card, that it looked way nicer. And then I looked at this, I was like, oh. Yeah, so that's that. Do you want, is there anything else I can show you?
How much of it is in Riverfront? About half of it?
Um,
I'm trying to tell
let's
which
see,
line is the
1, 2,
Riverfront.
3, 4. Yeah, I think it's in, so the riverfront goes from this solid blue line, which is about the edge of the bank there,
Yeah,
but
a lot.
it's in the outer 100 feet for sure of the riverfront. And
But the part of the house is. in it,
yeah,
right?
and then like, here, let's just close that out. So I was just trying to get a feel for even what's on the other side of the street. Let's see. Yeah, it's woods.
Yeah, and then it drops right off.
Yeah. There is a house over there. And yeah, it's developed on this side of the street.
Is there any contiguous public access protected open space?
No, not
Okay.
got
not
the train
there.
tracks right behind
Yeah,
it.
it's the train tracks. And if
Hope
we like zoomed out a little bit, there's stuff over like here, like that's Parks and Rec, but this is all like residential. And
Yeah, okay.
I mean, it seems like the main concern is that anybody who does do anything with that is going to have to come to us
Mhm.
for any demolition and or reconstruction.
Yeah.
Um,
And if there's hazardous materials in the old house
Right.
or old structure, I don't know if it was a house.
yeah.
And it is zoned residential strictly, or that space gets a little tricky in terms, in my mind, in terms of zoning, because it feels like there's also,
Commercial.
Right.
I don't know what the zoning is. I could probably bring it up. We could, if you're,
I guess my question is trying to get at what uses it would be put to moving forward, and
Right.
given,
oh,
even though it's not within certain resource areas, it's still close enough that I would like to not see anything of an industrial nature go there.
I wonder.
I bet it wouldn't be too industrial if it's sandwiched between two
Yeah.
houses right there.
Yeah, and the train tracks.
Yeah,
Yeah,
zoning is
change.
RA, so I think that's
Residential.
residential,
Yep, okay.
yeah. Yeah, so look, this is the
Oh, I see. What it
I don't know
was.
if you can see, but
RA is
Look,
urban
there's-
residential.
doesn't it look nice in the photo?
It's
got potential.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're looking for the commission to determine if there would be any special conditions we would want to attach to the sale, or what are we looking?
Yes, so the goal is, let's go back to the agenda. What is the goal?
If it's needed for any city purpose, if any special conditions should be attached, and any additional information which may be appropriate and useful for a determination.
So do we have to like vote on this or anything?
You don't need, you just, our goal is to send a recommendation to, city council, whether or not to like move forward with the sale. And if not, why,
Mhm.
which, and also if there should be any special conditions. So it's kind of like what we did with that
Yeah.
school
one,
property. Yeah, just kind of understanding that their goal is to sell it. And do we see any problems with that? Or do we want there to be like conditions with it?
Well, we'll just, oh, go ahead.
I guess my perspective is that I think that this is an appropriate property for the city to sell, and that whoever does any project on it will, by the nature of the delineation, be required to come visit us at that time.
Right, that's kind of what.
So
because- yeah.
whoever potential purchaser should know that they will have to come before the commission with any project.
Right, I mean, the school is
Okay.
not within any of our jurisdiction, but,
Right.
but this actually is, so I don't know if we need to attach anything because they're gonna have to come.
We're gonna see. it,
Yeah,
right?
we can just say like it's it's in jurisdictional resource
Yeah, you
area.
can
So,
just point that out in
yeah.
case they
Don't
didn't
catch-
pay attention to the
right.
fact that it is.
right.
Yep.
Okay.
Kristen, does that sound fair?
Yeah, that's
All
Sound-
right.
Okay, so, great.
Is there something else?
Now,
Oh,
let's
yeah.
talk about 7.
Next one, right, so our next new business, the mayor has authorized the Department of Planning and Development to proceed with the surplus property distribution process for parcel 32-8-07 River Street with the intention of selling it to a developer. The commission will discuss if the property is needed for any city purpose, if any special conditions should be attached to the sale, and any additional information which may be appropriate and useful for a determination.
Tiny little.
Okay, so 7 River Street is kind of by the Mill River, or what is it called? The Mill
Heritage.
Street Bridge? What
Yep.
is it? Yeah, it is Mill
Yeah,
Street.
Mill Street.
Okay, it just turns into River Street.
Okay.
So if you see Wisdom Way comes down and intersects River Street, and there's this kind of corner parcel, that's the one we're talking about. So I'll just go to the arc map.
I'm pretty sure that's in Prihab. Oh, it's not?
Yeah, it's just barely not. And it's, it shows it in pink as this kind of square rectangle, but I believe it's this whole diamond kind of thing.
I was gonna say, I don't think that there's anything in that.
And we'll do street view just to get there. Let's see. Okay,
There you go.
here we go. So it's like this bad boy.
So just
And
a
I
smaller-
think this little like part,
there's
driveway,
Parking lot and a structure that looks unused, or is it used?
it looks pretty boarded up.
Yeah.
I imagine it's unused because they probably wouldn't sell it if it. if
So
it was
given
being
that there's parking lot, this obviously was commercial
Yeah.
at one time.
Yeah, so maybe we can, let's see. Oops.
Right next to another house. across
You know,
from
on,
the house.
on Mass Mapper, it looks like that little building is 9 River Street, and 7 River Street is between that building and the edge of the road.
So the little triangle like you were talking.
Just a
about.
little triangle parking
Oh, I
lot
see.
area.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes,
The
so
lots
it's,
should be marked, shouldn't they?
Yeah, if you
Oh, they are on Mass
back that
Mapper,
up a
but maybe
notch.
not on Google Earth. Okay.
There you
Yeah,
go.
maybe
Yeah.
not on Google.
Yeah, so 9 is the
I
the
know.
house, 8 is the strange building. There you go.
yes, so see, it shows the house.
Oh, yeah.
And then this shows the other house. I think the lot lines are just a little wonky. I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure that see, look, and then this corner thing
Hmm.
is this weird.
So it is not the corner piece, it's the next one up.
I think it's part of the corner piece. I think it's just the lot lines are weird on
Should
Mass
be the
Map.
same for
sense.
both the parcels. So if they have the same deed number, then you'll know it's the same
There you go.
ownership.
Oh, that's right, because we're looking at, oh,
And
32-8.
it says zoning is GC.
No, the deed.
What does GC stand for?
GC is general commercial.
Okay.
You heard me. Not G.
I don't, oh, what is GC?
General commercial.
General commercial.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, I will just say that, you know, where that area gets closer to the river, there is priority habitat there, and that I know for a fact, like, so for on the left of that photograph. Yeah, so like right there, that's the river in the woods there. I've actually seen a rare species cross the street right there at that tree line.
Huh.
And what, does it fall inside of again? Like, I
Okay,
hear,
yeah,
I
let's
hear
go
you.
back.
Yeah.
Okay, so again, I believe it is this, what we're, the pink plus this little appendage area. And yeah, like Kristen was saying, the priority and estimated is like literally right on the, you know, it
Is
even
that the green,
encompasses the
or
road.
is it not shown?
I think that's green and yellow that are just like merged, and that
Mm.
means
Oh, I
it's
see.
estimated and priority.
Okay.
And the gray is like the BLSF. And then this is Riverfront, which, you know, it is partially within Riverfront, I think, no matter how you slice it.
Yeah.
So this is altered riverfront, because that's the parking lot area mostly, right? It's.
It might even intersect the building, because this isn't like
Yes,
exact.
Exact. So I mean,
So,
from our perspective, purely speaking from a conservation perspective, it'd be great if this wasn't a commercial property anymore and it was like brought back to a natural state, or was a small pocket park or something along those lines.
Oh, pocket park.
I don't have any idea that that's what will happen,
Sure.
but that would be the highest and best use of this from our perspective.
well, and the other, is this an official delineation, or does this property have an official delineation?
No.
Okay, so I think that that probably would be one of the things that I would like to see, to be very certain what does or does not fall within. That way, and the other thing too is like taking into account the slope of this land, anything that does potentially get done there will have to have mitigation measures on it. So.
Well, what a delineation would show would be how far Riverfront intersects it. There's like no other, it's the state layers, there's no NHESP stuff. Like that's concrete, right? Those boundaries are the boundaries.
Okay.
There's definitely not BLSF.
Okay.
And yeah, so it really is how much Riverfront is there or not. But
I think this could be just like the last one we did where
yeah,
we say there appears to be riverfront area. And if it gets developed, they'll have to come,
For us,
have to
yeah.
come before us.
I mean, we could, yeah, because it is so close. The other one was really close to rare and endangered too.
That was a
But-
buffer though. This is resource area.
Yeah, I like I like the idea of a pocket park, but that's probably not bringing in tax
that's not- yeah.
dollars.
No.
I'm sure it's not. I just wanted to purely look at it through the lens of what's the land, what's the
Yeah.
best use?
Right.
What's a better use for this, given the circumstances?
Well, I will say the city did an awful lot of really nice work on that uphill slope, installing walkways / bicycle ways and impervious surfaces and trees, and really did a beautiful job re-greening that uphill slope up to the fairgrounds.
I don't think that was a city.
Was it the fairgrounds?
was
Oh, was it the
fairgrounds?
fairgrounds?
I think it was
It
the
might have
state.
been. There's a new ownership.
Yeah.
I don't think it was the fairgrounds. I think it was a state project somehow. I remember when that came before
Yeah,
us,
but-
but
I thought it was the fairgrounds that got state assistance.
I thought that was a different project.
That
Anyway,
was for
anyway,
them.
I don't think it was the city.
Okay.
I,
don't
so,
think it
so
was-
I asked because given the location of this particular parcel and the highly limited use that this parcel might experience, that it might make sense to somehow incorporate it into that, removal of impervious surface and, pocket park idea is really great, but something of that nature where it becomes a little bit more natural, a little bit more amenable to the wildlife that is immediately next door to it that Kristen has pointed out is in fact endangered.
Yeah, it's so
And
tiny.
I guess some of that would fall under the riverfront, requirements. I mean, I think it's mostly all degraded, I would say.
Exactly, right.
So,
Yeah,
Degraded
but it would be nice to see more, like flood storage compensation, groundwater recharge. I know that we have 2 dams immediately to the left of this photograph, so I mean, it's sort of like splitting hairs, but yeah. I think kind of similar to the last item on the agenda, just saying whoever would want to be interested in that would have to come before the commission and we would have something to say about
One other
that.
thing to keep in mind is we have seen, we had the person who owns the Heritage Museum there, the Tap and Die.
Oh, yeah.
And the erosion problems that stretch of river specifically is experiencing, that
Oh,
should
yeah.
also be taken into consideration with any future use of this space, which your comment about stormwater, et cetera, made me think of that, because this is definitely an area that will be impacted severely by the increase in extreme rain events.
Absolutely. So any, mismanaged stormwater management or increase in impervious surface area or increase in, subsurface basement square footage that would displace flood storage capacity, like all of that just definitely goes into that. So I agree with you, Elizabeth.
also, just not to blame this parcel for too much.
Yeah.
The assessment says total acreage is 0.04 acres. So
Yeah.
it's not
all
very
your
much.
fault.
I don't think there could be a whole
Half
lot of
an
flood
acre.
storage.
Point zero?
0.04.
Oh, 0.04. Oh, no, that's so small.
Sounds like a pocket park.
Yeah. Rewild it.
I'm not sure how much power we wield, but I do.
No,
like
that's
the
fair.
idea.
But as Emily once pointed out, we can at least make the request.
Yes.
Yeah, so I think we should say it would be great as a pocket park, but if it is sold, there appears to be riverfront area and they would need to come
And they'll come,
before
yeah,
us.
Okay.
yeah.
And that could
Yeah.
just be a recommendation.
Yeah,
And estimated habitat.
and estimated habitat, yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Adjacent, or is the estimated habitat overlapping it? I thought it was.
I will say that the Natural Heritage and Endangered Species Program is coming out with new mapping next year. So
Mm.
Watch out.
they could unmap that. I don't know. But as currently mapped, it's in priority and estimated habitat, like peripherally. So
Okay.
Next. Discuss the upcoming ending of terms for commission members Kristen McDonough and Erica Laforme, their decisions to renew or not, and the future search for a new member of the commission.
So, I'll jump in. After much hemming and hawing and much confliction, I've decided to resign at the end of my term, which expires in December of this year. I am willing to discuss coming up with like a hard date if we don't have anyone to fill that void, say maybe like, the end of February or something, and then just like renewing my term just until we can fill, so we don't have a vacancy if that's what the commission prefers. But I just have so much going on in my personal life right now. This is just a really challenging chapter. I will join the commission again at some point in the future, but this is just a tough chapter. I just need to focus on my family and till my parents are settled and memory care and that kind of stuff. So yeah, that's where I'm at.
I totally hear your need to prioritize, and we definitely will suffer for the lack of your expertise on this commission. I appreciate your offer to set a hard date at the end of February, and I would absolutely personally love to take you up on that, because I'm looking at the very short 4 months between here and the end of February and wondering where we're gonna find somebody to onboard and, get at least somewhat up to speed to,
Because it took us a long time to get you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
After Fletcher left and.
Yeah.
We have a dream team. Our commission is so fantastic right now. I love our commission. I really had a hard time making this choice. I really thought about this all summer, and this is not what I want. This is just what I have to do. I have to just relocate my parents and figure out what they're going to be doing. So until they're safely like tucked away in an old folks home, I just need to focus on them.
yeah, absolutely. Totally makes sense.
I was gonna say that well, I mean, first of all, thanks, Kristen, for everything that you do, and thanks for being the like one to ask the hard questions and the, like I don't know, you're the more fiery,
Everyone
go
hates me.
after 'em. Yeah.
That is not true.
No. But I was gonna say, I feel like it might be easier, for you to just end at the end of the term, and because like over the winter, there's usually not a whole lot to do anyway. So I don't know if it makes sense to go through the whole process of like getting reappointed and swearing in again
That's
and
fair. Yep. that was a
doing
good
all
point.
that just for like a couple months when there's probably not going to be many projects going on. So not that I'm trying to kick you off any earlier than you need to be, but just make it easy for you too.
I just wanted to throw that out as a possibility. If that's something that the commission as a whole needs, it's not,
Mm.
again, something that I'm looking for, but, if we don't have any takers and if there's just a vacancy and we have a lot of commissioners with, time off and, quorum issues, that's something that I'm just offering.
I guess maybe we should hear from Erica first.
Yeah.
To see how many commission
Erica,
members
you've
we're
been on
gonna
the
have.
commission forever. You can't leave. What?
She hasn't said she's leaving yet.
Yeah, no, I also did think about it a lot and mentioned to Jessica, as long as we don't mind that I'm in Florida for a good part of the time and zooming in, I would continue to surf.
That's great.
And I have sent them my little thingy that yes, I'll continue. Yeah. But yeah, as long as it's okay that I'm not here a lot of the time.
It's worked out fine.
Yeah,
Those of us
yeah.
who are here can do the site
Mhm.
reviews and you can
Right.
participate.
when I'm here.
Well, then.
So I don't know if that makes it easier on Kristen.
Well, I'm thrilled that you're gonna stay on. Thank you. We appreciate your expertise as well.
Our longest serving member.
Yeah, you're our memory. You know everything that we've done for the last, how long have you been a commissioner, Erica? Like 20 years?
2016 or something.
That's a long time. That's a long
Good
time.
luck.
Yeah, you're
9
pushing
years.
10.
Yeah.
So then, given Travis's point about the logistical concerns, Kristen, I guess it does make more sense for the end of December, which would be, we won't even have, what do we have scheduled for December? I don't think we have very many, do we?
Yeah, so that kind of
It's one
segues
meeting,
into our
right, we were
next thing,
talking
but
about.
we did the second meeting in December is Christmas week and it's the 23rd. So another item on our agenda is discussing whether we'd have a quorum or vacation, or do we cancel? So it would, if we canceled, Kristen, that would mean the first meeting in December would be your last.
Okay.
Last for now.
Yeah.
Until she
Yeah,
goes.
and like I said, I did speak with the mayor's office, about this, so that would be what, the 9th?
Mhm.
Let me just put a reminder on my
Yeah,
calendar.
not to put any pressure on Kristen, but I was gonna say the other option could be like Travis, just taking a leave of absence for a little while. I mean, renewing and taking them.
Yeah.
That's just.
Yeah, no,
just
that's
throwing it out
that's an
there.
option too. But I obviously would leave that to Kristen to decide.
I definitely understand how nothing's set in stone. You can't
Oops.
plan
Right.
parents and stuff.
No, for sure. Well,
So how would we go about like putting feelers out?
mhm.
So last time oh man, we ended up like I think we had like the mayor's office like on the city Facebook page like posted that we're looking for people, looking for someone, and
I think
we
just
were
everybody just
yeah
ask people they knew
networking, and
or-
like we were trying to contact like land trusts or like all these different organizations,
VOC and stuff and-
Yeah, because I
and
got
like
like a friend of a friend
yeah,
looped me in.
like Greenfield
Yeah.
listserv and all
What
all
about
that.
like AMWS and MACC? I know it's not a paid position, but like Massachusetts Association for Concom, MACC, if there's a vacancy, wouldn't that be something that maybe like residents
Yeah,
would,
they
I
could,
don't know.
they do send out emails for like job openings, and I think that,
Volunteer would be.
yeah, I feel like that's in their like mission, right?
The only problem I see with that is I think anyone who would be subscribed to their newsletter is probably already a conservation commissioner.
Yeah,
Or
you're
in
right.
Greenfield.
And if they're sending it to the
Yeah,
whole
it's the
state,
same.
like we only need people in Greenfield.
Yeah,
so-
Maybe,
that's
maybe,
logical.
Mark Stinson might know anybody, like consultant wise,
Do we have like a position description on file that we could just sort of blast out to all of these various places? And there must be, I feel like I saw something that was
I don't
some
know.
sort of written.
I can't remember what I got. I think, what I remember getting like the letter about the process, how you join, like who you
Right.
contact and things like that.
Mm.
But I just remember sort of an informal invitation when Fletcher reached out to me, I think.
Mm.
what about our website?
Yeah.
I have a
Okay.
coworker I've been needling for about a year. She's young, but she has a master's degree. She's knowledgeable in wetland and wildlife science, and I keep needling her. I don't know. She doesn't seem to be nibbling on the line, but
And
I'll
she
see.
lives in Greenfield?
She lives in Greenfield. Yeah.
Well,
Mm.
Well, we should certainly send invitations to our colleagues that we think. So please invite that person to consider.
Yeah, and maybe Scott Jackson, who's he's involved in the Concom in Whately. He has a lot of students. He's a professor at UMass, so he might have students who live in Greenfield. I'm trying to think of other professors who are involved in Concoms.
I know there is a graduate student in Stockbridge who wound up joining the Conservation Commission in her town that I could maybe reach out to her and see if she'd be willing to share with other grad students in the area. Or if she knows anybody on the grad commission that is in Greenfield. But I guess if we could, is there a way that you can see if we've got something that just gives people a breakdown like
I'll
this is?
dig.
Okay. And that way we can just,
There's so many.
so many.
so many dark corners of our files.
Our Google Drive has more layers than any other drive, and I am a layer. For sure. Yeah, that would be good. And that way we can really, we've got something like tangible to say, hey, can you
Yeah.
come join us?
I have an email that I sent out back in 2023. Greenfield Conservation Commission seeking new members.
Oh, there you go. All
Great.
right, well, that's a
You
great
gonna
start. if Nothing
forward
else.
that to me?
Scott Jackson involved in that? Did you copy him? Because I think we talked about this before. We were looking for
Yeah, we
Fletcher's
did.
replacement, maybe.
This email did not go out to them. I was sending it to different,
Okay.
that was the one that I just found was to, one was to FERCog, one was to, the Connecticut River Conservancy.
How did we find you, Emily?
I think I got an email from Fletcher. Cause
So then maybe, like-
I'd come before the Conservation Commission for a restriction. And so
Mm,
he maybe had my contact information already.
So maybe we could reach out to land trusts too?
yeah,
Well,
Yeah,
and
definitely.
our,
Mount
and our
Grace and.
other city boards and
Mhm.
commissions as well.
Yeah, like I said, Green and
Yeah.
Greenfield.
Okay, so
the tree
what I'm gonna
committee.
do is I'm gonna
Yep,
dig
definitely tree
for
committee.
like some sort of job description-y kind of post in our files and archives. And then I'm gonna go through this meeting and write down all the different ideas.
mhm.
And I think we could start now, right? This is like
Yeah,
Yeah.
no time like the present.
Yeah, absolutely. I think when I first joined, I joined in like, I want to say December, but I didn't become a full member for a few months. And I actually inherited a
Yeah.
different commissioner's term when they resigned
Yeah.
early.
Right.
So
yeah, you were, what do we call it? Associate member or something?
yeah,
like
I was just sort of like,
Non-voting member?
yeah, I was a non-voting member. I was just like, I want to become a commissioner, and there was no vacancy available. So I was just waiting, and it was only like a month before a vacancy opened up.
Yeah,
And then I
John.
inherited their term. So that was like why I have a 5-year term instead of like 2 3-year terms.
I found that so useful to be an associate. Because I had
Yeah.
been on the Conservation Commission, but in Plainfield, which has 700 people in it.
Yeah.
On a good day.
So it sounds like the goal is to get a position description put together, get it out to our various listservs, et cetera, and have a non-voting member on board in a perfect world before the 9th in order to have somebody get some experience before Kristen is done, for the time being.
It can take a little while to take brought on too.
Yeah.
Especially since we're
Well,
gonna have
that's
spotty.
When I emailed them and said, yes, I do, she said, well, I can't do anything till the next meeting, like
Oh, right,
November
'cause you gotta get,
21st
like,
or something
voted
like
or
that.
something,
Yeah, it has
So,
to go
Go
up
through
the
Ways and Means or
channel
something and
down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
or whatever.
But even if we got an interested party, like there's,
They could start
you
coming.
could still have the commission function with 4,
Yeah.
right? So they
Yeah, yeah.
technically
functioned
could
with
be
3.
like
Yeah, we
an
were-
associate.
Yeah, we had 3 people for a while, for
Yeah.
quite a while, so. But yeah, and the associate member thing is, we just like vote and say like, you're an associate member, and then they're an associate
Right,
member.
and then
That's my
then they go
So-
through the other stuff.
And they get to like participate in the discussion, but they don't get to vote.
Right.
That's what
Okay.
that is.
Okay,
That's really nice.
And they don't count towards a quorum,
Yeah.
right,
so.
okay.
And I'll be back.
All
I'll be
right,
back. Just
we can, you can be an associate member when you come back, and then we'll kick someone off, so you
Yeah,
can.
I just-
join.
this is just a tough chapter. I'll be back in a year or
Yeah.
2 or 3.
Absolutely.
Definitely hear you.
Yeah.
I
you-
won't be at the next session.
Okay.
Next meeting.
Oh, that's our next,
Okay.
our next item.
Okay, yeah, let's close out
It's,
this item. and-
Yeah, so the next new business is discuss the dates of the remaining Conservation Commission meetings in 2025 and any scheduling conflicts that could impact having a quorum.
Okay, so I
Did you put that up there?
yeah, I brought, my gosh, like my brain is not working today. I provided the deadline meeting schedule for the rest of the year. We already have canceled November 11th because that
we
is,
didn't? Okay.
yeah,
It's,
that's
yeah,
Veterans Day.
Yep.
Um, and so also on the chopping block potentially is December 23rd, because I will not
I
be
think that
here.
probably should be-
Um,
I mean, I'll be in Florida, but.
so can we
Oh,
go
did I-
through can
I
we
thought I
go
was
through the
sharing.
consecutive dates? Just because I know there's two kind of back to back that
So
I'm.
the
also-
next one
The 28th.
after today is the 28th.
And that one,
And,
I'll be in
I
Florida.
will not be here.
okay,
I will be
who
overseas.
else won't be here? Okay.
I'll be in Florida.
You'll be
but
remote.
I don't be there.
So that's
Kristen, do you have any conflicts with the
Nope,
20?
I'm good.
I can be here.
Okay.
Okay,
Why is the 11th canceled again?
it's Veterans Day.
Veterans
Oh,
Day.
How come it's all on a Monday?
I don't get that day as a holiday, so I
That
forgot.
one's just always the 11th.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I don't get that one either, but I still.
You're a veteran, aren't you?
Yes.
You should get that day off.
Yeah.
And then, so yeah, so the 28th, and then the 11th is canceled, and then it is the 25th of November.
Which I will also not be here for.
Okay.
I will.
You will?
I'll be
Okay.
here.
Yeah.
I can be.
What?
I can be here.
Okay, so everybody except for Elizabeth, okay. And then that following
9th.
meeting is December 9th,
Will be Kristen's last.
Kristen's last. And any conflicts?
Nope.
Not for me.
No?
Not for me.
Zooming in, but
Okay. And then it's December 23rd.
Which is
And you want-
canceled.
That's one of the topics.
Oh,
I'll be in Ohio, so.
Yeah, and Jessica will
And
not
I
be
won't be
here.
here. My first meeting that I
You'll have
will
missed.
miss, yeah, which is pretty good. every year.
Yeah.
Also, I feel like in the past, I think we've canceled the one near Christmas almost every year, so
I mean,
would not
can't
be
imagine there's.
unusual.
I would
yeah.
say-
If we have business, I'm just taking a staycation. So I mean, if there's like really critical business, but I feel like it's the day before a holiday and it's a
Yeah.
week
Yeah.
where there's very little business getting done in the US. So
Right.
I think
mean,
it would be terrible to cancel that.
I think it's legitimate.
I think it's a good
think I'd be
idea
really
to not
busy.
do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Consensus.
And all right, it
No
is,
meeting on the
it's
23rd.
canceled.
Okay.
And just a reminder that we can always call a special meeting anytime we need
If something-
to.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, that's true.
Either
Yeah.
the chair or a quorum of the members, I think, can call a special
Okay.
meeting. So if there was something urgent, we could like have a meeting on the 16th or something, the week
Yeah.
before, just to get it over with.
Thank you for
Okay.
bringing that up. That's a really good point.
Or we could do it the day after the last meeting. We could do it on the 10th. Remember the Stone Ridge Lane? We had like
Oh, dude.
4 meetings within a week, I think.
Yeah, we had them on like Friday night or
Yeah.
something.
Okay. So that's it for new business. We've got the Community Preservation Act application discussion. Commission to
Yes.
discuss the positive results from the pre-application submission and discuss next steps to complete the full application. And next steps in obtaining letters of support.
Yes, so that our project is moving forward, the CPA funds into the Greenfield Conservation Fund. And I have started working on the application, and I thought maybe I would have a draft before this meeting, but I don't. So maybe before next meeting, I'll send it and we can all review it and like talk about the language and stuff. But the other thing is, the CPC really likes to see letters of support and from like diverse areas too. So I think we should start reaching out like immediately to get any letters of support from anyone who might want to support this.
Would it be helpful to get land trust emails? Because I could definitely reach
Yeah.
out and get those. no
Yeah, I
problem.
mean, off the top of my head, I was thinking land trusts and then like other city boards like the SGIC, Agricultural Commission.
Oh, yeah.
The Open Space Task Force could submit something if they wanted to, which would make sense. It's right within their purview. And
Well,
I
I'll
mean-
follow up on the land trust, the task force.
yeah,
And Jonah's on SGIC, so I can have Jonah bring that to them if you'd like.
sure. And then, I mean, I could send an email to like the Green and Greenfield listserv
Yeah.
if I'm sure people from there would want to. Yeah, tree committee. I mean, anyone who might think it's a good idea for us to have money to do conservation stuff.
I'll put together an email and then I can send this to a bunch of those groups because
Yeah.
I'm on the tree committee as well.
So I think that's probably the most urgent thing. I mean, this isn't
See
due.
Nancy all the time since she's your neighbor, so
Yeah.
you can talk to her.
Yeah, you can talk to Nancy.
When's it due?
The application is due November 14th or something like that. We have like a month.
Okay.
So
Sure thing.
yeah, as long as we can attach them. I mean, technically we could send them along after that. Oh, we got this one in late. Here you go. But it would be good to submit as many as possible with the application. But yeah, other than that, I'm just gonna work on, I mean, unless anyone else wants to, I'm gonna keep working on the actual application. And yeah, and then we'll go from there. I do know that when this came up at the last CPC meeting, someone on the committee said, well, this is paraphrasing, this is obviously allowable, but I think there might be a lot of questions about whether we like vote for this in the end, but that's for a later discussion. So
Wow.
there could be a little pushback, I guess, but
Because they just don't want to fork over like
I don't know.
money for something they
Just-
don't.
Yeah, because
fully
there's
know.
not, because one of the things that the CPC's done in the past is like, one of the weighting things is like, is this urgent? And, you could say this isn't urgent because we don't even know what we would spend it on.
Yeah.
But I think we can make the case that it is urgent
you-
because if we have the money on hand, if something comes available, we can do it like that and
Yeah.
have it done
Mm.
urgently.
And we're starting at 0 and we can't we have
Yeah.
to build it.
Right.
So we should have been started a while ago. So it feels
Yeah.
urgent.
And that's another thing. So I submitted a public records request just because I've had so much difficulty in like getting information about like our accounts and stuff. I was like, I'll just submit a public records request. And I asked for all of the money going into and out of this fund as far as there were digital records going back. And they sent me back, it was like only from 2015 to 2022, nothing newer than that. But it was showing that there was like $4,000 in it as of 2022. And then they said that was the record of digital files.
Hmm.
So there
now
has to be
that's
something
sure.
since 2022.
Yeah, because it's
Huh.
at 0 now, right?
I don't know that for sure.
Eric said that, because I got all the numbers from him.
Yeah.
We're talking the conservation fund.
Yeah.
That's at
yeah.
0.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that
something
$4,000
happened with
went
that
somewhere.
4,000,
I don't
yeah.
know. I guess it might be good to
Well,
find out.
When we at some point we were paying Sarah an extra hour a week. or something
Yeah,
like
that
and
might
was
have
coming
been-
Out of, I think, conservation. fund.
That might have come out of I thought that came out of the wetlands
Did
fund,
it? Okay.
but I'm not.
Which one it
It-
came out of.
Yeah, I think that
Maybe it
wetlands
did
fund
come
is
out of it.
for like staff and,
Yeah,
um,
but maybe it did come out. Maybe some came out of the wetlands fund and some came out of the conservation fund. I don't remember specifically, but
yeah.
anyway.
Does anybody have contact regularly with people in the agricultural commission?
I think Kyle Bostrom is on the.
If I
Yes.
make a template and send it to you, would you mind sending it to him?
Yep.
Okay. Great.
I believe that's true. But yes, please, that would be wonderful.
So that's basically what I have right now. And then, like I said, next time I'll, give you the the application before the meeting and we can all review it and then, go over any feedback at that point of, language or whatever. And then I can revise it and, we can submit it. So
Awesome. Thank
that's
you
the
for doing
plan
this.
right now. Yeah. I just have
Great.
to focus. Tomorrow's my last day of my parental leave at work. So I'm like, it's going to be almost full time.
Collective sympathy.
Yeah. So
Oh.
anyway,
Actually, so in the process of this conversation, I was reminded of the larger scope of Kristen's leaving, and as her role as a vice chair is now going to be unfilled
Oh,
as
yeah.
well. Sorry to loop back around to previous, but how do we tackle that? Is there anybody here who wants to be vice chair?
I mean, technically, we don't have to vote on a new vice chair until the position is open, but it might be good to
Seed
know.
the thought.
Yeah.
Just things to think about. All right. That looks it. Yes. Any other?
I have one update for the project monitoring, because last time we were talking about 225 to 245 Mohawk Trail, that's the big Y.
Mhm.
So I had time to dig into that more to familiarize myself. That was, they wanted to trim back plants for more visibility for their signs, and they submitted this whole plan where they were planting like hazelnut and some
Native shrubbery.
berry, yeah. And so I did reach back out to the guy, my like new contact that hasn't gotten back to me since, and still nothing. But I went to the site and I took pictures, and it is just loaded with invasives. And one of the like conditions in the order of conditions was that they would be like on top of the invasives. And so basically we're in a situation where I'm trying to get this guy to get back to me to close out his order of conditions, but they wouldn't even pass. Like
They haven't done.
because they haven't like adhered to that condition. And so it's just one of those things where it's like, I don't think he's gonna be like, oh, sure, let me like do all this work to close. I don't know. I just think it's like, I can keep emailing him, but he could submit it and then it'd be like, oh, you have to do all this work.
Right.
And
Yeah.
just realistically, I doubt
Well, and that's all like knotweed, right?
it's it's a lot of knotweed. There's
So
probably other things, but that's the main
They
thing.
they couldn't plant hazelnut or
They
aronia.
they
or
definitely
anything.
planted a few years ago.
Okay.
And then I think it all grew back.
Right.
So like really they just closed it out. They probably wouldn't have had any problem, but they haven't maintained it the way they were supposed to according to the conditions, because that was like an in perpetuity
Yep.
Condition. And so they wouldn't be able, I don't think you guys would
Close them. Yep.
give them a certificate of compliance.
Because they have not.
And so that means that he not only would have to get back to me, fill out all the paperwork, but then they'd have to like hire people to do what needed to be done. And
Yep.
I don't see him, I mean, he's not emailing me
Right.
back.
Right.
So that's the update on that.
I mean,
Well,
this,
that's.
go ahead.
That has ramifications on if they apply for another,
Yeah,
something else,
Right.
they can't.
Yeah.
you know,
Right.
So that's,
yeah, yeah.
'cause they've
So
already come, was the, third project, I think they,
Oh, this is.
because they had.
Yeah, you can't have an open order of conditions and a new NOI on the same parcel, so they'll have to close out that order of conditions and apply for a certificate of compliance if they ever want to apply for a new NOI. And any invasive species management would need to be implemented by a licensed herbicide applicator if it's within a wetland or riverfront area, which is a resource area under the ordinance. So, they would have to pay for that. So,
yeah. So really we're just
so-
like, it's almost just kind of like making sure it's flagged so that if
Yeah.
they apply
So
for
they apply, yeah.
anything, that
Right,
they.
we have it on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because that probably is the only angle that's gonna get any, like, actual, yeah.
And I would also say, like, if they do try to get a certificate of compliance, it almost seems like they should take care of the invasives and then do it for a while before we, like,
Yeah.
I mean, and also, we can have that as a condition in perpetuity on the certificate of compliance too, that they need to keep doing it
Yeah,
after
Do
we.
we also have a condition? I can't remember, Jessica, saying that we require like an annual report if there is herbicide applications? Like, like a pre-application notice to the agent and also like an annual summary report?
I'm not sure if that exists, because I thought that particular project, they weren't doing pesticide stuff. I thought they were
Just herbicides.
manual or herbicide. I thought it
Yeah.
was manual. But yeah,
That's what
I don't
recall
know.
too. I think it was just a manual removal.
Yeah.
How do
I
you
don't-
manually remove knotweed though? Because you just spread it if you break it.
Well, you just keep cutting it over and
Yeah.
over for 10 years. And
Yeah, you have to
eventually.
completely starve the root
It's so
system.
in- It's so infested,
Yeah.
they might have to use.
Yes.
herbicides.
Yeah. But that's what I recall from
Yeah,
when
no,
when
I
the
don't-
project came
I don't
before
remember
us.
us approving.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't
herbicides.
remember approving herbicides at all.
Okay, gotcha.
So now we wait.
That's all I got.
All right.
I just noticed there's also another one coming up. 105 Newton Street expires November 22nd, 2025. So
Yeah,
just a heads up
yeah,
that that one's
I
coming up.
actually did. I've been emailing him.
Which one is?
That's the rug manufacturing that got torn down
Oh,
and
so
they
now it's a storage
and
unit.
now it's a storage unit.
Yeah,
They should.
his timeline isn't as urgent as my timeline. But we are in communication. He is writing me back and he
Okay,
just
that's good.
confirmed he has as-built plans. One of my emails, I was like, your expiration date's coming up,
Yep.
and he's like, thank you. And I was
Okay. Right. Okay. Seems like everything. Do we have any further comments, questions, concerns?
This isn't a further question, comment, or concern, but I heard that Eric is retiring.
Yes.
So
Eric's retiring.
just thought I'd point that out because he's been like such a
Huge.
resource, like for
Oh,
us.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
Especially when we haven't had an agent and he's like filled in and so
Yeah, I think his last day is the 19th of December.
Have they?
Oh, wow.
Are they searching? Have they hired
They
somebody?
posted the
It's
job
posted.
last week.
I read through it. I wasn't going to apply, but I did read it. I was just curious.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, well, congratulations
I was
to
gonna say,
Eric.
good for-
I know,
yeah,
it's great
he's
for
not
him,
that
sad
old,
for
right?
Everybody
me.
else. Okay, so then at this point, we will state that, oh, let me get to my proper calendar here. Our next meeting will be October 28th, 2025. And I do believe, could I get a motion to close?
Motion to adjourn.
Kristen, second.
All right, so we'll vote, starting with Kristen,
Aye.
Travis,
Aye.
Erica,
Aye.
Emily.
Aye.
I am also an aye. We are adjourned.
Right.
Thanks,
Turn off that
everybody.
recording.
Yeah.
Kristen, who's going to make the motions to adjourn when you're gone?